I am actually in the temple of the moon at about 4:11 a.m. and really the moon is just about directly overhead. Um, it's not visible because we're not at the right time of year where it passes through this specific hole and comes into alignment where the moon actually gives light upon the altar I am sitting on in the Temple of Moon. But I figured, hey, what a better setting than to really explain to you guys what the whole 28-day lunar calibration is all about. Can't even tell. Yeah, you can see the hole. That's where you make the offerings to the Princess of the Moon. That is kind of cool. You see, the moon is the divine force that moves the element of water within the nature of our consciousness. The element of water is the most receptive element, and therefore the moon is the most receptive to the light projected onto it. Our subconscious and our hearts are the most receptive to the light projected onto them. So, by going through this lunar calibration, you will be learning all about how and what parts of your body, energy system, and mind are very receptive to when light is shown upon them, whether it be good light or bad light. Triangle at the top, and this gets programmed right here. The ancient wisdom that we can take from the moon predates any of the current schools of thought we are using. The moon has, for all of humanity, given humanity the blueprint to what our collective subconscious could create. It is through the moon that we divine all of our inspirations. It is through the moon that we are able to find what our specific truth is and how that truth is going to play itself out in our lives. And as I say the moon here, I'm subsequently at the same time saying the subconscious, because the moon is as well directly related with the subconscious. So, I want to have a program put together that will change your life. And I am going to do this because I know all of the forces of nature are aligned to make this happen. Working with the first new moon cycle of the above world, of the light world, Mayan calendar, the new 16.4 billion year cycle after the underworld calendar has finished. Well, it is time for us to illuminate our subconsciousnesses. it is time for us to unify the one mind, the enlightened mind. And so this is what the 28-day lunar recalibration will do. And how is it going to do this? First, we're going to look at what is lunar cycle. It is 28 days. Alright, we're going to split that lunar cycle up into 4 7-day weeks. Now, if you listen to my last seminar, I talked a lot about what was going on with ascension and the sacred elements. We are going to be taking advantage of these same sacred elements to be guiding ourselves through this mini ascension as part of the whole ascension to deeper connect our subconscious and our conscious. So the first week will be devoted to the air phase. And it will be all about getting rid of fears, getting rid of self-doubts, purging your subconscious of all those little things that when you're about to do something comes up from the back of the mind and whoop-de-doo, uh-oh, now it's going to stop you from doing what you knew you should have done. However, it's also going to go into quite a few different things, like what happens when you reach a fork in the road and you're not really sure which way to go, how to learn from karmic mistakes, different tests, the infinite potential of the subconscious will play on us, and a lot more involved in this that I'm sure you are going to fully get your 7 days worth and beyond what you've expected. The next phase, we will enter the fire phase. And in the fire phase, what is going to happen is we are going to have a ceremony where we have reached the temple of the moon. Now we have to go through the entire first week of the air phase, of cleansing our subconscious, of going through the tests of the subconscious, of this and that, before we can be allowed to enter the temple of the moon. So our initiation into the fire phase, our first lesson of the fire age, of the fire stage, will be within the fire temple, inside the temple of the moon. And that will be about the initial processes of connecting the light of your conscious mind into your subconscious, finding the negative points in your body where energy is being blocked that would keep your consciousness at a level not high enough to continually illuminate the subconscious, and then start to work on things like the initial stages of telepathy, remote viewing, and seeing the future. We will then further on into deeper illumination of the subconscious, using techniques that will be taught from a Lemurian sun god whose job was, until now, to basically hold rays, light of the sun in the moon temple during the night, so that this could be projected into the moon when the angles for which this to happen did not exist. So anyway, this is a god, a sun god, that works on a cosmic level of putting consciousness and subconsciousness. And he's going to help guide us through practices, as long as with the moon, guide us through how we're going to use. And we're going to be doing practices, using the moon, practices, using our own meditations to illuminate our subconsciousness. That is going to illuminate the most perfect path, the most perfect destiny we can walk that is there for us. And more so, what we need to do each step along the way to get there. And so the fire stage is going to be really exciting, and that's where a lot of transformation and a lot of energy and you guys are just going to go through so much, grow so much by being able to start this unification of the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. And that alone is well worth the $99. And wait until you hear about what goes on in the water phase and in the earth phase. One hand, I'm actually filming with my computer, just so you guys know. It's his hand on the programming there. Projects in to the system, to the cave system, the consciousness system. Of course, he must be accepted by the guardians and the princess of the moon to do this. Kuan Yin as well is here now with us. Mission. I am to reprogram the structure of this crown deprogramming passageway so that it is no longer so strong and lets a much wider majority of people maintain their vision as they come through and into this sacred spot, so that they may learn from the Princess of the Moon, unlikely as is